Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we have got a rather spectacular new Electrode coming out. And this Electrode looks absolutely brilliant. Now, this is coming out in the Astonishing Volt Tackle Sword & Shield 4 set over in Japan. It's going to be part of Vivid Voltage over here. I mean, technically that's not confirmed, but it blatantly is going to, so there we go. And, I mean, on the face of it, there's not a huge amount to like. 90 HP is low, but then again, it is a stage 1 and it is Electrode, so it's about what we would expect. Retreat cost to 1 is fine, because you can use U-turn board for free retreat, but you're not really going to want to retreat this. The weakness to fighting is not ideal because there's all kinds of stuff like Pikarom and Eternatus and all of that which are weak to fighting, so we should expect an uptick in fighting Pokemon. Then you're a lightning Pokemon, which is alright, but you're not hitting much for weakness, and you've got Tapu Koko Prism Star, but you're not really ever going to be attacking with this, so that's kind of irrelevant. Even the attack, I mean, we're not going to spend much time talking about the attack here. 2 lightning, 1 colorless energy, 100 damage, yay, woo, etc. No, ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing we like about this Electrode, and it's the ability. But the thing is, this is kind of a game-changing ability. This is the kind of ability that makes decks that shouldn't be good, good. It is exactly the kind of ability which is going to change up the metagame, and for that, I am absolutely delighted. Now, you shouldn't be surprised to hear that our translation here comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet. I would say who else, but you know we do use a bunch of other people here. And what we essentially see is once during your turn, you may knock this Pokemon out if it's on your bench, not in the active, and then search your deck for up to 2 lightning energy and attach them to your lightning Pokemon in any way that you like. Oh, nice. Now, I should say that Antoine has given us a little bit of an update here. If you search your deck and you don't get any energy here, Electrode will still be knocked out. You'll still give up a prize. So even if you search your deck and it turns out there's no energy in there, you still give up the prize. David has basically jumped in here as well and said the wording basically is stopping you using this ability if you've got no cards in your deck. But basically here, you attach 2 energy from your deck, you KO Electrode. And frankly, for an awful lot of decks, this is going to be totally worth it. Imagine this. You've got free energy on your Pikachu and Zekrom. Now, what you really want to do is you want to use Full Blitz and attach the free energy you get to your active Pikachu and Zekrom. So you've then got free energy on, plus the free is 6, and you can use Tag Bolt to do 200 to the active, 170 to the bench. The problem is, you know there is a chance that your opponent is going to be able to get a KO. You're not sure, but they might be able to. If they get the KO, you lose all 6 of the energy, which is a bad thing. But if you play it conservatively, you put free energy onto the bench, and if they don't get the KO, you've missed your GX attack. Well, in comes Electrode. What you do now is you've got a Pikachu and Zekrom in the active with free energy on. You got a Pikachu and Zekrom on the bench with free energy on. And then next turn, regardless of if your opponent got a KO and which one they KO'd, you use Electrode. Yes, you give up a prize, more on that in a minute, but you then attach 2 energy from the deck to one of your Pikachu and Zekrom, attach a third from your hand. You've gone from free energy up to 6, and now you're using Tag Bolt. That is one example of how ridiculous Electrode can get. It can completely throw off the maths. I mean, if you look at Boltund V, for instance, Boltund V is one of those Pokemon that escalates. So 10 damage base plus 30 more for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Well, all of a sudden, Electrode adds an extra 60 damage. That's a very good thing. It means that energy-hungry lightning decks all of a sudden have another option. Yeah, sure, Thunder Mountain is rotating, and that's a little bit sad, because that would reduce your attack cost by 1 lightning energy, but actually we're not really so worried about Thunder Mountain rotating anymore, because you've got this. Now, I suppose at this stage we should probably do a quick U-turn and have a little look at the fact that you're giving up a prize. This, of course, is not exactly unforeseen. We've just seen that Miss Magius is going to be banned. That lets you KO it and draw until you got 7 cards in your hand. The reason Miss Magius gets banned is because of Duskstone. Duskstone lets you evolve up turn 1 or the first turn you played Misdreavus, and then you can potentially give up 3 or 4 prizes, maybe. No, only 4. 4 prizes. Technically, if you started really mucking around with ordinary rods, you could actually give up 5 prizes. But you know what I mean. Give up a bunch of prizes, drop a reset stamp, and kind of ruin the game for your opponent. We don't like this at all. And in theory, you could do that turn 1 before your opponent's drawn a card, and they start their turn for 1 card hand, which would be very sad. We've also seen this on Magneton, and Magneton hasn't seen a huge amount of play, but I do like Magneton a lot. Magneton, you KO it, giving up a prize, and then you search your deck for 3 supporter cards, one of which would obviously be Lieutenant Surge's strategy, which would allow you to play the other 2 that you searched for. And now we've got a third version of these. The thing is, going behind on prizes really isn't such a bad thing. Going behind on prizes means you can use Martial Arts Dojo to do an extra 40 damage if you've got any fighting energy attached. You can use Karate Belt to reduce your attack cost by 1 fighting energy. Yes, I know these are largely for fighting decks. There is the aforementioned Lieutenant Surge, which will activate if you've got more prize cards remaining. If you want to go fighting, how about Garchomp? Do remember, though, that this doesn't just allow you to accelerate lightning energy. It is lightning energy to lightning Pokemon, so you'd have to play some weird hybrid fighting lightning deck, and yeah, never mind. Although, don't forget, we do have that Raichu from Unbroken Bonds. That's a very interesting one that doesn't get talked about a lot. But for 1 energy, if you've got at least 3 more prize cards remaining than your opponent, you can attach all lightning energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. So if you've got 2 more prize cards remaining, you could potentially use Electrode here to activate Raichu. Not sure if I like that plan, but you could. It's sad that we're losing counter gain to the rotation, though that's still totally on the cards in Expanded. Similarly, counter energy is working in Expanded. So there are some cards that activate when you got more prize cards remaining. We'll probably get more of them in the future. And it makes your reset stamp more powerful. You can go, say, from a 2-card reset stamp to a 1-card reset stamp, which could make all the difference. But also, we're playing around with multiple prize Pokemon. So let's say, for argument's sake, your opponent has got 2 prizes remaining left to take, or even 3 prize cards remaining left to take. If all you've got on the field is Pikachu and Zekrom, if you go from 3 prizes down to 2, or your opponent does, it doesn't matter, they still win the game when they KO Pikachu and Zekrom. If your opponent's got 2 prize cards remaining, you KO Electrode, but there's no single energy Pokemon on the field, they've still got to take down something like a Boltund to win the game. And I think that's the trick to using something like Electrode. An awful lot of, and I mean an awful lot of Pikachu and Zekrom decks don't play single prize Pokemon. So use this. And you have to be a little bit careful, because of course, this means your opponent can KO a Pikarom and a Boltund and win the game, rather than 2 Pikarom. So there's going to be a bit of skill in how you play it, but giving up a prize doesn't have to be a big thing. Firstly, you can make it work for you. Secondly, you can make it so it doesn't really affect the prize trade. So the giving up the prize we can totally deal with. And then after that, we've just got this phenomenal energy acceleration. It is 2 energy and it's from the deck. None of this getting energy in your discard pile rubbish. None of this making sure that you've got enough energy here, there. No. Just get it out of your deck and then go ahead and attach it. And when you've got Pokemon like Boltund that do more damage for each energy on the field, Pokemon like Pikachu and Zekrom that can go from free energy, oh, it's okay, they're never going to be able to use their GX attack, to, hey, look, here comes their GX attack in a heartbeat. This goes absolutely brilliantly. I'm a huge fan of this. Another one I quite like with this is the amazing rare Raikou. Now that does 120 to the active, 120 to one of your opponent's bench for a lightning metal grass. So essentially, Electrode will pay the lightning cost for 2 Raikou, and then you've just got to find the grass and the metal, bearing in mind we got stuff like Turbo Patch nowadays, your attachment for the turn, etc., which should make it legitimately viable. And I know that we're talking single prize Pokemon. The thing is, let's say I KO Electrode so that I can get my Raikou amazing rare rolling. Well, my opponent's going to KO Raikou, so I've given up 2 prizes. But if Raikou KOs an active and a benched, so that I've taken 2 prizes, then we're basically even, except I've got a second Raikou that I'm helping out, and I'm taking out 2 potential attackers where my opponent's taking out an attacker and a Pokemon that was going to get KO'd anyway, etc. This can work. Yeah, the giving up a prize sucks, but energy acceleration is awesome. And between the multiple prize KOs, the multiple prize Pokemon, etc., there are ways to make this not worry. I'm giving this 4 Wassies, and honestly, no, I'm giving it between 4 and 5 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. And honestly, I could make a strong argument for this being a 5 Wassie card. I think the potential here is absolutely huge. This is going to lead to some frankly ridiculous turns where you think your opponent can only attach 1 energy but are actually attaching 3. Or with one of these and a Tapu Koko, that is 4 extra energy on the field in addition to your attachments. It's silly. I'm loving it, but I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.